Hi, Firsty Friends. Today, we're going to read another book about Knuffle Bunny and Trixie by Willems. The title is Knuffle Bunny Too, A Case of Mistaken Identity. The words mistaken identity mean that someone makes a mistake about who someone is. They think it's one person, but it's actually someone else. In this story, Trixie is excited to bring Knuffle Bunny to school and show her to her teacher and friends. But the day does not go as she expects it to. As I read, notice things about this book that show you it is by Mo. Take a look at the end papers. The end papers give you clues about the story. Why do you think Mo Willems drew two Knuffle bunnies here? What clues might this give you about the story? Think about that title. All right, let's begin. Knuffle Bunny Too, A Case of Mistaken Identity by Mo Willems. One morning, not so long ago, Trixie took a walk with her daddy. By now, Trixie really knew how to walk. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to show Amy, and then I'll show Meg, and then I'll show Margot, and then I'll show Jane, and then I'll show Leah, and then I'll show Rebecca, and then I'll show Nora, and then I'll show Robbie, and then I'll show Tashi, and then I'll show Casey, and then I'll show Connie, and then I'll show Parker, and then I'll show Brian, and then... And talk, and talk, and talk. Trixie was excited because she was taking her one-of-a-kind Knuffle Bunny someplace very special. Come on! Trixie couldn't wait to show Knuffle Bunny to Mrs. Green Grove and all of her friends in pre-K. But just as her daddy kissed her goodbye, Trixie saw Sonia. Suddenly, Trixie's one-of-a-kind Knuffle Bunny wasn't so one-of-a-kind anymore. Look at the ways that Mo has drawn Sonia's face and Trixie's face. What do his drawings show you about the way they are feeling? Trixie looks like she is feeling surprised because her eyes are really big. And she might be a little disappointed because her nose and her mouth are pointing down. Now, Sonia, she looks like she is feeling like she is the best or in charge because she has a smirk on her face and her eyebrows are pointed up and in, and that kind of lets me know that maybe she is not being the nicest feeling right now. The morning did not go well. Knuffle! 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 The afternoon was worse. Can you guys tell me why the Knuffle Bunnies were taken away from the girls? Yeah, they're not using kind words or kind action, so it's being taken away. When the school bell rang, Miss Greengrove returned the Knuffle Bunnies, and the day got better. Then, before she knew it, it was time to go home. Trixie ate her dinner, devoured her dessert, brushed her teeth, but a few hours later, Trixie realized something. What do you think Trixie realizes? Why do you think Mo wrote the word something in larger letters? That's a great guess about what Trixie realized. And he made the word something larger to help us know that is an important word to say as we read. Trixie marched into her mommy and daddy's room and said, "That is not my bunny." Trixie's daddy tried to explain what 2:30 a.m. means. He asked, "Can we deal with this in the morning?" What do you think Trixie says to her daddy? Look at her face. Trixie's daddy went to the phone. Before he could make it down the stairs, bring! The phone rang. And a man's voice on the other end. "We have your bunny." Trixie and her daddy rushed across the neighborhood. Trixie did not want to be late. Neither did Sonia. There was an exchange, and the Knuffle Bunnies were back where they belonged. Look at both of the dads' faces. How do you think they're feeling? I think they're feeling relieved to have the bunnies back, but frustrated because it's so early in the morning and they should be sleeping. Why do you think the girls might not want to play with each other's Knuffle Bunnies? Yeah, it's not their special Knuffle Bunny, and they need their special Knuffle Bunny. "I was so worried about my bunny," said Sonia. "So was I," Trixie replied. Then they both said, "I'm glad you got your bunny back," at the exact same time. And that is how Trixie found her first best friend. So remember at the beginning of the story when we talked about the title and the subtitle, A Case of Mistaken Identity. Whose identity was mistaken? The bunnies were given to the wrong girls, so their identities were mistaken. When I first read this book, I wondered if Mo used photographs from his own neighborhood. Then I found a clue in that gave me the answer. And that's all the way back in the beginning on the copyright page. Under the copyright area, it tells us that he lives in this neighborhood. It said about the photographs right here. So Mo uses his real life to help him write his made-up stories, just like some other authors we have talked about. Well, Firsty friends, thank you for joining me for our story time. I hope you enjoyed Knuffle Bunny Too, A Case of Mistaken Identity. Now you can head to your next activity.